were talking about making dinner, and you made
Oh, in Sweden, we
Yeah, what?
made Swiss steak.
Swiss steak. That's where we
Yeah.
ended up.
Yeah.
Where did you learn? You made Swiss steak. That was something that you knew before you came to Europe, though. I mean,
Yeah,
that was-
well, no, I just, yeah, maybe so.
Okay, so let's see.
Oh, and I didn't tell you that we also, staying in Sweden, it was midwinter and it was very cold and there was a lot of snow, and we had this place out in the country near Uppsala. We went to the
Uppsala.
University of Uppsala and learned a little bit. I've forgotten what we were studying. We were trying to learn Swedish, but through German. The professor spoke German, but it wasn't very easy. And Swedish is a very hard language. It has a lot of cases,
Mhm.
and it's complicated. It's a complicated language. So we were just exposed to Swedish, but we didn't learn it. I learned one phrase. It's very helpful. Lundahl har plats på en bank I Stockholm. Lundahl has a position in the bank in Stockholm.
Oh yes, that's very. If you have a friend named Rundahl who works in the bank. That's great. Okay.
Yes.
So let's see.
And then after that, we went to Finland. We took a boat to Helsinki, and that was fun.
Mhm.
And that's where that plaque came from. A Finnish man did that. Birger Kaipiainen made that plaque. And we went through the factory, Arabia, the factory in Helsinki, and we met some of the artists who, they had nice little studios for, about 15 or 20 artists. And so we enjoyed getting to see these artists, and of course they spoke English. And one of them gave us a couple of failures that she'd made. They were bowls that one of them shrank, and one of them she didn't like the color very well. So we came back with two lovely bowls.
Yeah, nice.
And I think Peter has them, I'm not sure. One's yellow with brown spots and one's turquoise blue.
Mhm.
And let's see, that was good food they had in Finland. Of course, it being so cold, we had to eat a lot. But,
Well, so this was the winter. Do you remember what month it was in Finland?
oh, I think it was January.
January, yeah.
So it was midwinter.
And you didn't have any trouble getting around because people spoke English?
Yes, everyone spoke English.
Mhm. Okay, so then where did you go?
Then we came back to Sweden and went back to Germany because we'd made the decision that we were going to do a lot of traveling after we'd been with Grandma and Grandpa Murray. They were arriving maybe in March or so.
Oh, I see.
So we met them in Cherbourg
Mhm.
at the boat, and we went on our merry way. We went through Germany because we wanted them to see where we'd taken our hike, for instance. We had a 3-day hike in the Odenwald, which is outside of Heidelberg.
Mhm.
And we were trying to follow a Roman wall. And we had a map, a hiker's map, and some of the wall was easy to find and other parts were buried.
Mm.
But that was our project, and we slept in sleeping bags, and we kind of roughed it. It was really fun.
And that's before
That's before Grandpa Murray.
So it was pretty cold, that was the winter.
No, I think we did that earlier.
Oh, okay.
And then we went back there to show Grandma and Grandpa Murray where we
Oh,
had
I see.
been. And we drove our lovely Citroen through that area. And then we went through Germany we went through Holland and Belgium and Germany, and then we went to, where did we go? I don't know. We went all over Europe, Western Europe, to Italy, and then we let Grandma and Grandpa off at their boat I guess they went back on the Holland-American line also.
And that was from Cherbourg?
No, it was from Rotterdam,
From Rotterdam, oh,
or
okay.
one of those
Yeah.
Dutch ports.
Mhm.
And then we took off and drove our car down through France, through all the little towns. It was fun because we discovered that in France it's really hard to get a bad meal. Even in the little towns, they'll stuff an artichoke, and it's just delicious. Absolutely delicious. And what else happened? Well, let's see, we went to all the old towns a lot of old towns in France, and we went to Spain. Oh, I know, we got stuck. We got stuck in, oh dear, what's the name of the town? Lecumberri. It was an old town old hotel in northern Spain in the Basque Country.
Oh.
And we had to stay there because we'd sent some money and we wanted to get a good rate. So we sent some money to Tangier, and it didn't come. The francs didn't come, and they didn't come. And so we were there pretty much all summer in this little town of Lecumberri in the Basque Country, and we went for walks, and we got some tennis rackets and played tennis, and along came a movie company, a Spanish movie company, and we were playing tennis, and here comes the idol, the screen idol of Spain. His name was something Texera. He was actually Portuguese.
Yeah.
But anyway, all the girls at the hotel wanted to play tennis with him and had their pictures taken.
So did you play in the movies?
No.
No.
We didn't. We were in the movie. We were extras.
So do you remember what the movie was called?
Yeah. It was called Salacaín el Aventurero.
Salacaín el Aventurero, huh? Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'd have to see if we can get a copy of that movie and find you in the movie. That would be fun. I never knew the name of it.
Yeah.
How interesting.
And Bob turned out to be quite a good actor in the mob scenes. I wasn't very good, but he was.
Did you have any lines, or were you just sort of hanging out?
We just had to be talking, and I had trouble talking to the people next to me. I didn't know what to say. We were at a wedding. It was a wedding scene. And then, let's see. Oh, that's where we were thrown with all these actors and actresses, and one of them was the Bob Hope of Portugal. Everybody knew him because he was very funny.
Mm-hmm.
I have a picture of him somewhere. I don't know what he was. He was some kind of a boat.
I remember that, he had a hat on, he had a captain's hat on, and he was
Yeah.
sitting at a desk or something.
Alice,
I remember that.
Alice from the Buffalo
From
was
the
my
Buffalo.
name.
Mhm.
And he remembered he knew about Buffalo because it was near Niagara Falls.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Marilyn Monroe was in that movie. So, anyway, then, after we went we spent a lot of time also when our money came, in Spain. We went to Madrid, we went to, all the wonderful Moorish towns in, Spain.
Now, was Franco the ruler of Spain at the time?
No, I don't think so. I don't know who
I don't know
was.
my Spanish history very well.
Well,
Just wondered.
I don't know what it was at that time. It was, I think they'd finished with Franco, but I don't remember.
Okay.
Anyway, we went to a lot of wonderful places in Spain. We saw the Alhambra and whatever other Moorish places there were. And the Alcazar, and then we went over to Portugal, I guess, and saw Umberto and his wife and son, and we had a lovely time. Of course, if you're with a comedian, you don't do very cultural things. We went and saw the amusement park, and we would walk along, and everybody would say, "Hi, Umberto, hi, Umberto." And that was very funny. And then we spent some more time in Portugal, went up the coast a little bit, but then we went on to southern Spain, and we stayed at a lovely place on the coast, the Posada del Mar. It was in Spain, just along the coast, and it was fun because we'd see the fishing boats and they would sing their songs, and it was very colorful. And then we went up to Barcelona, and my mother, Grandma Murray, knew a man when she spent a year in Spain. She had a male friend named Isidro Darna.
Now, when she spent a year in Spain, about what year was that?
About 1923.
Okay, so it was way before, it was after World War I.
Yeah, and before
World War II. And you got in contact with that person, and they were still there. That's 30 years later.
Yes.
Wow.
And he had not married my mother, thank goodness. He married somebody else, and we looked at each other, and they have a daughter, and it was instant recognition because we'd eaten every meal all day, every day with them at the hotel in Lecumberri.
Without knowing?
Without knowing.
Oh, isn't that funny?
I saw a letter addressed to somebody named Darna, and I thought nothing of it because I thought, well, that must be a very common name. Turns out it isn't. It's a very unusual name, but little did I know.
And that was the person's last name, or the first?
Darna.
Darna.
His first name was Isidro.
Isidro, that's right.
And so he sent his wife and daughter into the cool country in Lecumberri, and we happened to be at the same place.
Wow.
It was a very funny coincidence. And so we had dinner with them and took a walk after dinner, and then we were on our way the next day and went on to further adventures in southern France. And, see, then we crossed France and went back to, oh yeah, and then we went back to Germany, because that's where our stuff was.
And that was still in the Citroën, right? Yeah.
Right, yes.
Did you have any trouble getting gasoline ever, or was it fine?
No, it was available.
Mhm.
We didn't have any trouble.
It's just hard for me to imagine what it was like back then, because
I
even
know.
in the 70s in France, it was still obvious that World War II had happened not too
Yeah.
long ago. I mean, there were still pillboxes on the beach and things like
Yeah.
that, so, I mean, it must have been much different in '54.
Yes,
So you went to the south of France and then back up to Heidelberg?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Oh, well, there are a lot of things that happened, like we went to the Channel Islands and stayed in Guernsey,
Oh.
and that was interesting.
And you went to Jersey too?
Jersey, and we went to the little island of Herm, where there are lots of shells. We collected shells. And we went to Sark,
Sark, wow.
and we happened to be there on a Saturday, and there was a wedding, and the custom is that the people who get married in Sark go and visit every household on Sark. So they were in a carriage with a horse, and they went and visited every family on Sark.
Wow.
We did not see the Dame of Sark, though. She was somewhere else where we weren't. Let's see, what else?
So how did you arrive at the decision to come back and move to Arizona? Did you do that there while you were there, or did you did you first move somewhere else?
Something funny happened. There was a pregnancy involved. Willie.
It was me.
Yep, that was you. And so I went and had the frog test. That's what you did in those days. I had the frog test in Paris, and they noticed that I was indeed pregnant. So we pulled up our tents and went back to Copenhagen and got our stuff and came back to the United States.
And did you go to Buffalo or
Yes.
to Detroit or to?
We went to Buffalo. I don't think we went to Detroit, but we went to Buffalo. Maybe we went to Detroit, I don't remember.
And then did you drive to Arizona?
Well, I took the plane because I was pregnant. Bob got a little trailer and we had a table and maybe a chair or two. We didn't have much in the way of furniture, but we did have a table. And so he drove the car and our furniture and some of our wedding presents to Phoenix. And that's where we established our residence. And he went back to work for the Valley Bank. And we had an apartment, a rather scruffy looking place. The landlord was happy when we wanted to clean up the walls. But anyway, we stayed there for a month or two, and then we found a little house on 4010 North 4th Street. And that house is not there still, but we had a landlord named Champ. And it was just a little teeny house with little teeny bedrooms and a little teeny kitchen, and we lived there for a while, and then we bought our house at 4234 North 16th Avenue, and that's where we stayed for a couple of years.
I have a few memories of that place. I have a memory of the sandbox, and I have a memory, I think I remember finding a mushroom growing inside in the laundry room.
Yes. No, in the bathroom.
In the bathroom? Oh.
They kept growing
Oh,
there.
they kept growing,
We
okay.
kept picking them and throwing them out. And
They kept growing,
They
interesting. I vaguely remember that. So, It's funny though.
Yeah, that's funny. One time you locked yourself in the bathroom.
I don't remember that. So you lived there for a few years, and then after that you moved to 933.
West Palm
West
Lane,
Palm Lane.
yeah. We just lived there for maybe a year and a half or 2 years. Then we bought 933 West Palm Lane.
Now, was the phone number at the 16th Avenue, was it 16th Avenue? Is that right?
Yeah.
Was it Alpine 44836? Do you
I
remember?
think it was, yeah.
I remember that. And then when you moved to 933 West Palm Lane, it was 2533453, right? And then it moved. I'm just curious if you can remember that.
Yeah, well, yeah, we had that number for a while. And it was very much like the city jail phone number that we get calls on Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
You have my husband there?
So, also, let's see, at 933 West Palm Lane, you lived across the street from the McCampbells.
That's
now, did they
right.
already live there, or
No,
they moved there later?
Yeah, they moved there soon after Sarah was born, I think.
Okay.
First we had just one child among us, and that was Willie.
But Rob Roy McCampbell worked with Bob, right?
They
in
worked,
Valley Bank, or they worked in
Yeah.
the same bank.
That's right. And Marilyn worked at First National.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Okay. Well, let's see. What else do you want to tell us about from that time? Is there anything else that sort of... what was it like for you to arrive in Phoenix without knowing anybody? How did you make friends? How did you
Oh, well,
sort of...
it was a little grim. I had this little baby, but I know I worked on the Junior League rummage sale.